The secret of spinach? There are superfood spinach and the best and worst foods. Even this good spinach is good for your health if you eat it well. If you eat it with bad foods, it can actually harm your health. Let's find out about the 3 worst and 3 best foods that go well with spinach to prevent cancer and dementia. Hello? This is your Healthy Life channel. We always produce videos for your health management, with information from Korean health management specialists and researchers in related fields. Are there any people who haven't subscribed yet? Please subscribe and like right now. And please, share it with your loved ones so that we can all live healthy lives. If you eat this, you will gain superhuman strength and defeat villains. Spinach, which grows slowly by repeating freezing and thawing in the cold winter weather, has excellent sugar content. Spinach is the unrivaled number 1 in vitamins among green and yellow vegetables and also contains a lot of minerals and inorganic substances. When the weather gets cold, blood circulation problems tend to occur. As the body temperature drops, blood vessels contract, and blood flow to the heart decreases. Oxygen and nutrients are not properly delivered to every corner of the body, which causes numbness in the hands and feet, swelling, and muscle cramps. This is when the magic of spinach is needed. In fact, the nitrates in spinach give muscle strength and help blood circulation, completely solving joint pain and swelling. However, did you know that there are foods that are harmful to your health when eaten with spinach, which is so healthy? Now, let's take a look at the 3 worst and 3 best foods that are bad for preventing cancer and dementia when eaten with spinach. First, the food that goes the worst with spinach is sweet potatoes. Both sweet potatoes and spinach are really good for your health, so aren't you surprised that they don't go well together? You probably already know that spinach is good for dieting. This is because of the water and dietary fiber that spinach is full of. Spinach is a vegetable that is composed of 91% water, but isn't it surprising that all of its other contents are filled with minerals and inorganic substances? In particular, the dietary fiber in spinach plays a significant role in health. It lowers blood sugar levels and absorbs bad cholesterol in the blood vessels and expels it from the body, making it an excellent food for cardiovascular health. When eaten with sweet potatoes, which are the number 1 source of dietary fiber, the potassium in sweet potatoes expels sodium from the body, making it the best vascular tonic. But there is a big problem when eating spinach and sweet potatoes together. Excessive dietary fiber can actually interfere with intestinal health. Since it takes a long time to digest, it is one problem that it causes chronic digestion, but it can also cause constipation in particular. The reason for this is that the dietary fiber in both sweet potatoes and spinach is insoluble. Depending on whether it dissolves in water or not, dietary fiber is divided into 2 types, insoluble and soluble. Insoluble fiber increases the bulk of digested food in the intestines, increasing satiety, while soluble dietary fiber absorbs a lot of water to soften the stool and help it pass through the intestines smoothly. Therefore, you should eat this good dietary fiber in an appropriate balance of both insoluble and soluble. If you eat only insoluble spinach and sweet potatoes together, it can actually have a bad effect on your intestinal health. So, what kind of food is a good combination that can maximize the effects of spinach? The first food that I recommend that goes well with spinach is apples. I told you not to eat spinach and sweet potatoes together because they are both insoluble dietary fibers. When apples are full of water, they are rich in soluble dietary fiber, which is good for your intestinal health. You already know that pectin is the number 1 contributor to preventing colon cancer in apples, right? Yes, that's right, pectin. And that's not all. The pectin in apples increases beneficial fatty acids that are good for our intestinal health and acts as an antioxidant. During this process, if you eat it with spinach, it acts as an anti-cancer agent better than a health supplement. Spinach, known as the king of green vegetables, is full of green pigments such as chlorophyll and folic acid, and these ingredients prevent cancer and remove all the harmful substances. Also, the vitamins that are excellent for immunity, which are abundant in spinach and apples, enhance the Effectiveness of this process. Here's something even more surprising. If you eat it with apples, it is also very effective in preventing diabetes. The dietary fiber in apples prevents cholesterol and sugar from combining and being absorbed into the blood. In addition, the dietary fiber in spinach and apples keeps food in the stomach for a long time, which slowly increases blood sugar levels and controls the rapid secretion of insulin. So you can grind apples and spinach together and eat them as a healthy juice, or you can eat them crunchily as pickled vegetables. One of the worst foods to go with spinach is tofu. Spinach is a very effective and healthy food. However, there is one big problem. It contains a lot of oxalate. Oxalate. In fact, 100 g of spinach contains a whopping 970 milligrams of oxalate. The problem is that if you eat spinach, which is rich in oxalate, and tofu, which is rich in calcium, together, they combine to form gallstones, which are lumps of calcium that do not dissolve in water. These stones cause severe abdominal pain and stomach cramps in our bodies and further lead to kidney stones and urinary stones. Therefore, spinach should not be eaten with tofu, milk, or anchovies, which are representative foods of calcium. In particular, those with weak kidneys, difficulty in metabolism, or gout should be especially careful when eating. So, should you always worry about it while eating it? No, oxalate is highly soluble in water, so you can effectively remove it by simply adding salt to hot water and briefly boiling it. If you boil it in water for too long, all the precious vitamin C in the spinach will be destroyed, so you must only briefly boil it. Are you still worried? Then there is a miraculous combination that can completely solve your worries about oxalic acid in spinach. The first food that I recommend here that goes well with spinach is sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are the perfect solution to your worries about oxalic acid in spinach. First of all, sesame seeds contain a lot of essential amino acids that are full of health benefits. One of them, lysine, prevents the formation of stones. In addition, spinach, surprisingly, contains miraculous beta-carotene, vitamin C, and minerals that are excellent for antioxidant effects, and it removes active oxygen, the main culprit of aging, so it not only protects youth but also brain nerve cells. It is to prevent brain degeneration and promote brain neurotransmitters. Therefore, it is something that you must take care of for your brain health, which improves memory and prevents forgetfulness and dementia. If you eat it with sesame seeds at this time, it will maximize the brain health benefits. For reference, the average life expectancy of Koreans is currently 90 years for women and 86 years for men as of 2024, which is one of the longest average life expectancies in the world. It has increased by more than 5 years compared to 10 years ago, and the average life expectancy of Koreans is increasing every year. I hope you all always watch our health management videos and maintain a healthy life. Sesame seeds are actually being developed as a miracle drug that can solve the next generation of dementia, and they are full of great effects. The sesaminol component of sesame seeds destroys only the substances that cause dementia and prevents damage to brain cells. So, eating sesame seeds and spinach together is the best choice for your health. In addition, it supplements protein, fat, and vitamins that spinach lacks, making it even more perfect. So, from now on, you should always sprinkle sesame seeds on spinach dishes. It adds a rich flavor and adds health benefits. Lastly, the worst combination with spinach is high blood pressure medication. In particular, if you are prescribed blood-thinning warfarin-type blood pressure medication, high cholesterol medication, or aspirin, you should be careful. These medications thin the blood in our body and dissolve clots in the blood vessels. On the other hand, spinach has the exact opposite effect to this prescription medication. The vitamin K in spinach helps to coagulate wounds in the blood vessels. So, should people taking blood pressure medication not eat spinach? No, you should definitely eat spinach for the health of your blood vessels. Cholesterol, which is the cause of cardiovascular disease, is a problem in itself. But it is the most serious problem because it accumulates on the inner walls of the arteries, hardens the arteries, and eventually causes arteriosclerosis. The vitamin K in spinach lowers cholesterol levels and prevents arteriosclerosis in advance. Therefore, you should avoid eating spinach with your blood pressure medication within an hour or two to avoid interfering with the effects of the medication. Then, the last food that I recommend that goes best with spinach is eggs. Have you heard about the anti-cancer effects of spinach? The Globalization Research Foundation selected spinach as the #1 food among the 15 best anti-cancer foods. The reason is because spinach is full of antioxidants. When a person breathes, active oxygen is created in the process. This oxygen is very reactive and damages the DNA of the cell. This damaged DNA becomes a mutant cell and eventually becomes a cancer cell. At this time, spinach acts as a sentinel that defeats cancer. However, if you eat it with eggs, it will have a miraculous synergy effect with this anti-cancer effect. The phosphin protein in the egg yolk plays the exact same role as spinach and reduces cancer cells. In addition, the nutritional synergy is also amazing. Eggs are a complete food, but they are lacking in one thing: vitamin C. When you eat them with spinach, they are a perfect match, and since they also contain iron, they are full of oxygen and produce clean blood. So from now on, eat spinach and eggs together to get anti-cancer effects and protein. So far, we have looked at the 3 worst and 3 best foods to eat with spinach. Finally, let's summarize it together. Instead of eating spinach with sweet potatoes, eat it with apples. Rather than eating spinach with calcium-rich tofu or anchovies, you can eat it safely by lightly boiling it and sprinkling sesame seeds on it. Also, eat spinach 1 or 2 hours before taking your high blood pressure medication and eat it with eggs to get all the health benefits. How about it? I hope you all take good care of your health by eating spinach with good foods that are good for your body. If today's video was helpful, please subscribe and like. Please also set up notifications and share it with your precious family and friends so that we can all maintain a healthy lifestyle. In the next video, we will return to protect our health with advice from special Korean health management experts. I will always pray for your health and happiness. Thank you for watching until the end. It has been a healthy life for you so far.